Good evening everyone and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League round 4 at the glorious race of the Spanish Grand Prix here, the Catalunya. Fantastic track as well. If you've driven around here, it's an absolute peach of a perfect track as well. And with me tonight, I am one of your commentators for tonight, Malc. With me as always is Tim. How you doing, mate? You alright?
How you doing, Malc? I'm excited, and I'm hoping that we're going to have another good races. Already, we're seeing a lot of the drivers going out on the track to start their warm-up lap, rather. Barcelona, a really good track, but before you ask, I'm just going to say this is not my favorite track to drive on at all. In fact, it's probably my least favorite besides Monaco.
Oh, really? So you not fancy it driven around at the Catalunya track at all, Tim?
It's one of those tracks that it's so technical, and I just really have an issue wrapping my brain around it and getting into that proper rhythm of actually being able to set a fast lap time. The worst part really for me is the third sector, because all the corners, they just really feed into each other, and it's such a pain. And I expect to see a lot of drivers actually having issues with the third sector this week.
Oh, okay. So I do agree with you on that one, Tim, but I think there's some other corners as well we're going to have to watch out for as well. But however, we're going to watch the qualifying lap from Boy Better Know, SB, on his qualifying lap. He's just doing his in the third sector part there. He's got a couple of cars behind him as well. One of the Tauruses of Jos there, and also it looks like Mr. P. He's got a 5-place grid penalty with collision with Mike there, so that will be bad start there for Mr. P here. But we're going to do the actual qualifying lap here down the straight here at the longest straight of one of the longest straights of the calendar here as well. So we come up to Elf Corner, which is at turn 1 now. Yellow flag sector 3, and we come up to which is turn 2 now, and then into turn 3, which is the Renault corner now. Might be going wrong. You come up to which is the end of the first sector, which is turn 4. Obviously, he's the first driver. He will have the purple sector there as well. Then you come up to which is Repsol corner, and then come up to turn 5 now at the Seat corner now, and you come up to which is turn 6 now, and then into 7, which is the awkwardest part because you can easily get caught out here by the gravel here. And this is the part where the Kamsa corner at turn 9 now, where so many drivers could easily lost it, and nearly did from Boy Better Know. We come up to the end of the sector 2 into turn 10, and come up to which is turn 11. This is the part where you have to be absolutely spot on here. That curb that he's just crossed over there, he will lose out a bit of time if you do hit it too hard, because the curbs are absolutely nasty here. And come up to turn 30, which is Bank Sabadell. Then come up to which is turn 14 now, and then in turn 15, which is New Holland corner. And then into turn 16, which is the final corner, with the DRS straight down the straight here. That is the qualifying lap, and the time to beat is a 1:20.455 from Boy Better Know. A 1:20.455. So Tim, looking at the time from the hard tyres as well, what time are you expecting tonight?
I think we're going to get somewhere in the 118s, maybe low 118s, but I think a more realistic estimate would be a low 118. Is actually now Ferocious Dan is at the fastest time with a 119.6, and those are on soft tires. So more than likely, those are the tire compound that the drivers are going to decide to use tonight for qualifying. So already we're starting to get a baseline of what we're going to see with the 119.
Yeah, I think we might see a little bit lower than the 119s. I reckon you might hit the high 18s, possibly high 80s, low 90s definitely, but lucky if you get into the 118s as well. So, two drivers who have replaced for tonight is Rimac and Samu, who are racing as well tonight. We had Ton Albanach. He cannot race tonight, and also what was it? Also Typhoon. He's not racing tonight as well. So they're just being replaced tonight. So they will be in the hot driver's seats here. Let's see what they can try and do. So like I said, Samu did a 1:21.2 on the hards. Rimac is still in the pits there, so he'll try and improve as quickly as possible here. So Schofielder had an invalidated lap here. So what do you think is going to happen here so far? Who are you watching so far, actually, Tim?
Going down the line, and I was for a minute watching Energy Dam. Going to go take a look at Scopefielder, actually, who you said he had an invalidated lap, but he's going to try to set another lap time as now he enters the third sector. And it was these corners that I was talking about, Malc, right now going around turn 11, and the curb at turn 11 and turn 12 is really what I was saying, that, as you mentioned, that it can really just upset your car and spin you around. So a lot of drivers are going to have to be careful with that, and Scopefielder even taking precaution to avoid it. But it doesn't look like he's really trying to set a fast lap at the moment. I think he's just trying to make it back to the pits. But in fact, he is going to go past the pits and go for another lap. So maybe this time will be his fast lap.
Yeah, so let's see what Scopefielder can do on at the Catalonia track here as well. So a couple of updates as well. So with the tyre strategies here, the softs can last about 9 laps fresh, the mediums can last about 16 laps fresh, and the hards can last about 21 to 22 laps fresh. And I've been told by the weather crew here, Tim, that it's going to be a dry race here tonight. So let's see. It's kind of easy stuff here for the drivers here. At least they don't have to worry about the wet conditions here tonight. But the tyre deg is not great around here. Do you agree?
I definitely agree, Malc. And as far as the weather goes, I really wouldn't believe that looking at the sky. It's looking a little bit cloudy at the moment, but if that's what they're saying, then it must be a dry race. And I'd imagine that the lower temperature is actually helping a little bit with the grip, so I'm sure the drivers aren't complaining about that at all.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be complaining of that at all, but it all depends if they can have the better tyre wear strategy, or the tyre wear management is mainly going to kick in as well. But bear in mind though, if you only just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. P has got a 5-place grid penalty for severe collision with Mike, so he will be, wherever position he finishes, whether it's in first, he will drop down 5 positions here. At the moment. So Scopefielder just crossed over the line with a 1:20.605 there, so he's moved up to third there. So who are you watching at the moment, Tim?
Actually watching Ferocious and he's decided to go out on the medium tires this time around. So on his outlap, his best time is still the 1:19.681, which he set on the soft compound tire. So he's going to try to see if maybe the mediums will be able to be a little bit better. But he's actually really struggling. A lot of oversteer there, getting really loose in these corners. So, but hopefully that'll help warm up the tires. And by the time he goes to set a fast lap, he'll have the grip that he needs. Yeah,
let's see what he can try and do here on the medium tires here. But the tire strategy as well, you can easily do hard mediums or medium hards. That's the safest bet. But I've seen people have gone for like the soft tyres and try and last as much as possible, and then go on the medium tyres to last throughout the whole race. But this will be a 33 lap race. It depends if they can try and hold on with those tyres as much as possible here. So at the moment here, I'm just seeing what Ferocious Dan can do. He's just coming up to the end of the first sector now. He's got a couple of cars trapped. He's purple. He's purple on first sector here, Tim. He's purple on first sector. So let's see what he can try to do at turn 5 here. And then into, which is turn 6 now. And coming up, this is the part where it gets easily caught out here. It's the turn 7 when you go up the hill. Because if you don't get it spot on, you can easily hit the gravel on the right hand side where he's just gone past there. And then camps a corner as well. You've got to be absolutely spot on there. And you nearly lost that corner as well. So you've got to be absolutely careful there. In the second sector, he's not purple. So he's purple first sector, but he's not purple second sector. So that is quite interesting stuff there. But it all depends. Whoever's get pole here, it might be one of the cars that are still coming out on track here. So he's coming up to the trickiest chicane part there. You can easily cut the corners there and can easily invalidate your lap here. But he's coming to the final bit now here with the DRS straight. Let's see what he can try and do here. Now, he does not improve. He does not improve his time. So he has got improved on first sector, but he has not improved in the last 2 sectors. So hence why it will be at that point in time. So Tim, who are you watching so far?
Taking a look at Luke Bailey, he's currently in 12th with a 1:21.2, but he's on his flying lap now with soft tires on. So we're going to see how much, if any, he's able to improve on that time. Right now, going through the first 2 corners, got to be really careful there. It's so easy to clip those curbs and just upset the car and spin around, but really, you can say that at just about any part of this track.
Yeah, it just depends on how you can manage your car and get the right setup for this, because you are right. You can. the problem is if you don't get it spot on, you can make it uneasy with the car, and I've seen it a few times, especially at Campster Corner, which we're watching from Luke Bailey's point of view in a moment or two. If you don't get that right, you can easily hit the wall, and it will cost you dearly, especially in the Realistic Performance League as well. You don't want to lose so many points, especially when you're in round 4 of 12 races of Invictus Racing League, and he's purple on second sector here, Tim. So what do you think? Do you think Luke Bailey will hit the low 119s here?
I think it's very possible. He's on those soft tires, so at least for the one lap, it's going to give him a really good speed boost, but we're about to see what happens as he rounds the final few corners here, obviously going past the pit entrance, and as he goes down the straightaway, where will he wind up as he crosses the line? Second place, a 119.8 for Luke Bailey.
That is a good time there from Luke Bailey. That's a cracker of a time there. He was purple second sector, beating Ferocious Dan time, but he must have missed out somewhere. I reckon it's definitely the chicane, because you can easily lose so much time at the chicane, and especially at turn 11, 12 if you hit the curb as well. So still anything to play for here with under 7 minutes left, 6 minutes 40 left of the qualifying. At the moment here, Ferocious Dan is in the lead in the qualifying so far, 119.6. So let's have a look at Sir Spud as well. So Sir Spud is going to do his lap in here. Sir Spud and Rymac are the only ones left who have not had a time yet so far in this qualifying, but they need to get a good start here as well. But we will mention about the standings in a moment or two. It's purple on first sector here, Tim. Sir Spud is purple on first sector, so that is a massive good start here. Let's see if he can try and capitalise on it through the second sector here, Tim.
Meanwhile, Rymac's actually purple in the second sector at the moment, and he's going through about halfway through the third. How is Sir Spud looking?
So Sir Spud is coming up to Campster Corner now. With the DRS straight now, let's see what he can try and do. He gets everything possible. He's purple. He is purple on second sector here, so he's 2 purples. Will it be the hat trick? Will it be the perfect position lap here? He's lost it at turn 12 there, but he's still going. He's still going there, passing into turn 13, which is the unlucky turn there. And then into the chicane part there now. Needs to try and get a good... Oh, he's teasing us, Tim. He's absolutely teasing us. Madness on that. So, Rymac did well, actually. 120.3 on the softs there. But comparing to what the other guys are doing, Lozak's did a 120.079 on the medium tyres as well. So that's still a brilliant time there from Lozak there. So, just seeing what Samu is doing. But so far, we've under 5 minutes left here, Tim. Do you think there'll be a shock along the way?
I actually think there will be. I don't think that what we see is what we're going to get. If commentating for the Invictus Racing League has taught me anything, it's that expect the unexpected. So with less than 5 minutes remaining, this is when all the drivers, they've been able to pull into the pits, maybe make a few adjustments here and there of what they're allowed to do, and figure out what tire compound's going to be best. Now they're going to go out there for real and ready to set a fast lap. So I really think that we're going to see a different lineup than what we got here currently.
Let's see what happens here. As you rightly said, you never know what to expect back from any of the drivers here tonight, especially with the last few minutes, because you can easily get the softs well, if you've done the hards, you might go on the medium tyres. It just depends on how they can try and capitalise on it as well. So we just had yellow flags there. That might be one of the Ferraris just letting one of the Red Bulls through. Samu did a 120.1 as well, so he did well there, to be fair. So fair play to him on the medium tyres here. So compared to him and to Lozak as well, he'll be the ones to watch. So I'm just going to watch who to watch here. It's very tough to decide here. Let's see what Sheepy can do. So Sheepy's coming up to turn 12 here, into turn 13 now. At the moment he's a 120.5. He's on the medium tyres as well. So he's going to try and do the chicane part here now. And he's going to go back into the pits. Yes, he is. He's going back into the pits. So he did a 120.5. So he's got enough time to do another lap here. Let's see what's happened with Nitrogas. Nitrogas is not purple in first sector, but he's in the medium tyres now. So let's see what he can try to do in that Red Bull car. Let's see if he gets some wings. That Red Bull car. Let's see if he can try and do as much as possible. He's coming up to turn 7 now. Up the hill here now. And this is the part where you could easily lose it. So much time here. Good evening to everyone that's joining in the session here. I'll be enjoying it live and exclusive for you guys at the Invictus Racing League. Frostan has he's just lost communication with his car, so hopefully he'll try and get back here. But Tim, the nitric gas is purple on second sector here. He's purple on second sector here. We've just got yellow flags on first sector. I think some of the drivers are just coming out of the pits, letting them through. Frostan has got his communication back up and running now. So nitric gas is coming to the final bit now. He's down the straight here with the DRS straight. Let's see what he can try and do here now. Oh, he did a 120.1. A 120.1 on the medium tyres here, Tim.
Yeah, and right now I've been watching Boy Better Know. He is currently purple in the first sector. Now through the second sector, he's on the medium tires. Right now his best time is a 120.455. So he's going to definitely try to improve on that because he's only lining up in 9th right now. Going up the Rolex banner, going up that really tight uphill right-hander, and about to finish this second sector here as he approaches turn 10. How is he looking? He is purple in second sector as well. So going through turns 10 and now approaching turns 11 and 12. Got to be really careful with these curbs, as we've said the whole qualifying session. Boy Better Know he might be on track for a pretty good lap here. We're going to have to see what happens in just a few corners time. He's approaching the chicane now. Got to be really careful here. I've noticed a lot of drivers are trying to cut the chicane and go over the bumps, and that works very well so long as you can get the angle right. But if not, and if you hit the bumps, you will really hurt your car. But I think Boy Better Know did a good job, and first with a 119.5.
That is a brilliant time there from Boy Better Know. He means business here on the medium tyres here tonight. So that's a cracker of a time there. Mr. P has retired from the session, so he must have made a crash at turn 4, I believe. That might be turn 4. We've got yellow flags there on the second sector, as you can see on our maps on the right hand side here. We're under 1 minute left here. I'm just still watching it from Boy Better Know's point of view here. Yeah, I think he must have made a mistake there. That's why he must have retired there. So we've got one of the McLarens and the Alfa Romeos there already out there. So let's see what Schofield can do. So Boy Better Know, I don't think he'll improve his time again, so I think he'll try and save it, which I don't blame him there. What can Schofield do? He's coming up to the turn 7 now, and nearly coming up to, which is the Campster corner now. So let's see what he can try and do. He's going to try and be careful here. Fair play to Boy Better Know. He's going to try and get out of the way here, out of the racing line here as well. Scope is purple, Tim. Scope is purple here. This is going to be interesting stuff here. We've got 2 tenths from nowhere here. He's going to try and get it from there. Lozak has retired from the session here. Still yellow flags in all 3 sectors there. Into sector 3 now. Let's see what Scope can do here. He's going to come up to the final bit now. Qualifying has now stopped now. The qualifying has now stopped. Let's see what he can try to do. He's coming up there. No! He does not improve. He misses out. He misses out by 400. Roy Boy moves up to second place with a 119.566. 300s off. 300s off. Boy Better Know's time. Tim.
Yeah, and Scopefielder, I think that he just got that final chicane. I think he got the angle down wrong, and it looked like he scrubbed off a little bit of speed, but good show for him, and good show for Roy Boy, too. Second place right now. So that is really good. Ferocious Dan, our provisional pole sitter for a long time, has dropped all the way down to 4th, and that might be where he winds up. There's a few drivers yet to complete their laps, but more or less, what we see is what we're going to get. Yeah,
what we see is what we're going to get. Mike has crossed over the line in 5th with a 119.7, so Spud has just gone back into the pits. Who has just crossed over the line there? I'm not... Let's see what Energy Dan can do. Is he going back in yet?
Oh, and there's actually a collision between Yas and I think not Luke Bailey, but Yas and another Haas car, I believe.
Oh, okay. The other Haas car is Meg Luppy, if that's what you're predicting on.
Yeah, it is Meg Luckby, actually. He is sitting there. I can't tell exactly what corner it is, but he does not have a right front.
He does not have a right front there as well, so I think that might be just after when we had the qualifying here as we speak. But we're just waiting for Energy Dan to finish off, and then we'll do the actual standings as we speak. But what a qualifying here tonight here, Tim. From Boy Better Know, out of nowhere with a 119.5 on the medium tyres there as well, and I think that might be some manic stuff here tonight, and I can't wait for it tonight with the qualifying here. Well, the whole race, or the 50% race as well. Do you agree, Tim?
Oh yeah, definitely. But one surprise to me is Energy Dan lining up and down there at the bottom. He was actually being touted as one of the drivers to watch tonight.
Absolutely. So I don't know if he's going to try and do what other drivers have done in the past, go from the back and all the way into the win. We'll have to wait and find out in a moment or two. Here are your short qualifying classification for the Spanish Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. You got Boy Better Know in first, Roy Boy is in second, Scope is in third, Frushdown fourth, Mike fifth, Sir Spud sixth, Yoss seventh, Luke Bailey eighth, Lozak ninth, O'Stephen 10th, Samu is in 11th, Meg is in 12th, Nigelgas 13th, Roy Mac 14th, Mr P 15th, Sheepy 16th, Energy Dan 17th, but Mr P will be at the back of the grid because of his 5-place grid penalty that will take place after collision with Mike during the qualifying. So we're going to do the usual advertisements, guys, and then we're going to talk about the race itself. This is the Invictus Racing League for the Realistic Performance League tonight on the Tuesday nights at 8 PM with myself, Malc, and with Tim, as always, for giving you live and exclusive for the racing tonight. But also, not only we do the Tuesday nights, we also got the Monday night league, the F1 League with Gareth and Sab. They do the brilliant commentary as well, and it's a really good race of the F1 League. The fastest drivers, it feels like the top flight, the Premier League division there as well. Not only we do the Mondays and the Tuesdays, but we also got the Wednesday nights with the F2 and F3 League as well, with Energy Dan doing the commentary on the F2. And also Harry and FPL Charlie for the F3 League for the commentary as well. So make sure you tune in on that, guys, and make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the live races as well. But not only we do the PS4 leagues on here for the weekdays, we also got the Xbox League on the Sunday nights at 9:30. So if you're an Xbox person and you like the racing, why don't you sign up and join in on the Sunday nights for the F1 League. But also, like I said, not only we're on the YouTube channel, but we also got the social media side of Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as well. So make sure you like, subscribe, and follow as well. But the most important thing of all, guys, is if you like what you're seeing, we got the InvictusRacingLeague.com site. Make sure you register on there. And then apply to race. If you enjoy the racing and you want to take part in, apply to race. Sign up. One of the admins will get in contact with you, and we'll kick off, get you into one of the leagues that are subject to availability as well, within the due course as well. So, like I said, we're just waiting for the guys to get themselves set up and ready to go. I can't wait for this. I cannot wait for this. The racing tonight at the Catalonia track, the Barcelona, the Spanish Grand Prix here as well. So this will be fantastic stuff. Unfortunately, we've had no results from last week's Belgian Grand Prix due to technical difficulties. So that race will be done during either at the mid-pack or at the end of the season. But we will get that confirmed with you in during this week as well. So we will get that confirmation for you in a moment or two time. But for now, we will get the standings up as we speak. The standings at the moment here: Schofield is in lead with 46 points. Nigel Cash is in second with 34 points. Luke Bailey is in third with 30 points. Carlsberg is in fourth with 25 points. Samu is in fifth with 22 points. Sport is in 6th with 21 points. Sheepy is in 7th with 21 points. Energy Dan is in 8th with 21 points. Ton is in 9th with 20 points. Mr P is in 10th with 19 points. And the rest of the drivers are under 19 points. But a bit of a reminder for the points: if you're new to this season for the Realistic Performance League, if you've not joined at the start and you want to know what's happened, you will get two extra championship points if you get a pole position during the qualifying. So Boy Better Know will have 2 extra points regardless whatever happens here tonight. But like I said, in the usual, every point will be, like I said, every position there will guarantee points as long as you don't get a disqualification or a DNF during the race itself. But we will have 33 laps here, Tim. So the pressure on you, Tim. Who's your top 3 for tonight?
Well, going back on the pole position, I'm going to put Boy Better Know in that classification of my top 3 because, we saw him do very well last week before, unfortunately we had the issues. but he was doing very well and leading, and now he's on the pole here again today, and he's starting to convince me that he's not just a contender in the race, but a possible contender for the championship as well. So I'm going to go with Boy Better Know, Scope Fielder, and yeah, I think I'm going to go for Yas in the 7th position. But really, there's a lot of drivers that have actually surprised me here tonight. But Boy Better Know, Scope Fielder, and Yas, those are my top 3 for the night.
Ooh, okay. That'll be interesting stuff there. I reckon Boy Better Know, as long as he keeps it on track there, I reckon Scope will do it as well. But I would watch out for Mike as well. So I think Mike, Roy Boy, and Boy Better Know, no particular order, my top 3 for tonight. But as always, Tim, I'll let you do the honours.
And an honor it is each and every week, Malc. The drivers lining up, and there are a lot of grid positions. F1 Mr. P starting there in the back after that grid penalty. Will he be able to make it up? We're going to have to see here in just a moment. But right now, those drivers are focused on one thing and one thing only, and it is the race at hand. Their eyes fixated up toward the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. No red lights, and we are green for the Invictus Racing League's Realistic Performance League at Spain. And already, Boy Better Know getting out to an early lead, but Roy Boy putting on a really good show, really on the back bumper, and some contact as Roy Boy goes into the grass and drops down. It is 3 wide going into turn 1, and there's a little bit of contact in the back. I saw some front and wings getting damaged, so it is Boy Better Know, Scope Fielder, and Roy Boy, your top 3 after the first 2 corners. But behind them, it is just a cluster with the Racing Point of Ferocious stand right in the middle of it, riding on board with him now, as he is actually being crowded a little bit by the Toro Rosso of Yas. These drivers are not giving anything and taking everything that they can find. Mike running very comfortably actually in 4th in front of this battle, but it is side by side with Racing Point and Yas right now, and that is just an amazing battle. They are still going at it. Yas not wanting to give up this position. A little bit of a lockup actually by Yas, almost going into the gravels, but doing a good job to hang on to it. Going through Camp's corner right now. Yas in the 5th position. Ferocious stand having to sell for 6, but now we have a safety car.
Yeah, I think there's been a contact there at turn 8 there from Mr. P. It looks like there was a bit of contact there as well. We'll have to find out. There was a bit of drivers that were dropped down as well, like Rymac as well. There was a battle between Samu and one of the other cars as well. So they had a great battle as well. So Samu moves up to 9th as well. So that's a fantastic move there. But I didn't see what happened there from Mr. P's point of view here, because we was watching it from the front end point of view here. But let's see if... Let's see.
Well, Mr. P does not have a front wing, so it was definitely him. And actually, while he was trying to catch up to the pack, he had to take some evasive action. I think he didn't expect the pack to slow up as much, so he actually turned right and took out one of the boards as he was heading into turn 10 as well. So Mr. P already just not having a good day. And earlier before the race, he was talking about how he just really... he doesn't like the Racing Point at this track. He just really could not get it hooked up. And so now we're seeing that, unfortunately for him, in the limelight, is just him having a lot of issues early on.
Yeah, let's see if this the luck will be turned in during this safety car stuff. But like I said, I did not expect turn 8 to be the first one to be hit, because I expected either turn 9, which is Camster corner, or I think it might be turn 2, because I've seen a few times where drivers just try and attack turn 2 as well, and if you don't get it spot on, you will lose that car with that unbalanced stuff, as we was talking about earlier on here, Tim. But some of the drivers have all got pitted now. Ferocious Dan, Luke Bailey, Mike, Mr. P and Energy Dan, they've all pitted for fresh tyres now. So, but Mike's already gone for the hard tyres already, so that's a bit of a gamble there, considering he was on the medium tyres and he was in the top 5 there. So let's see if it can pay it off there. But would you have pitted already during the safety car this early?
Only if I had damage. I mean, obviously if you have damage, that's going to be a bit of a no-brainer. But otherwise, no, I definitely would not have pitted this early. And I find it very surprising, actually, that, that anybody that wasn't caught up in that did. Yeah,
I think there was some contact there, especially at turn 1, and also up to the point of the safety car as well. So the guys would try and make themselves as close to them as possible here. But with the drivers all trying to get themselves prepped up with this, this is going to be very tough here, because especially when the guys are going to try and keep that, I think it will benefit the medium tyres drivers as it goes on. but it all depends on how long those tyres can last for those drivers, because if you're an aggressive driver, you will lose out massively, but if you're a careful driver and don't get caught up with too many battles, you might have a chance of doing well here. That's what I always see anyway. But if you was in the top 3 here, Tim, what would you do now?
I would really just try to bide my time and just kind of ride a little bit, you know, try to keep the drivers in front of me in my sights, but not actually try to make too many moves, because, you know, with this safety car, it's really bunching up the field. So now the drivers, they have to worry about what's in front of them just as much as they have to worry about what's behind them. And where it was only one lap anyway, the field really didn't get a chance to get spread out. So it's really no different than what it would have been. But certainly I would be worrying more about what's in front of me and just trying to run my race and be patient to avoid these costly mistakes and, you know, to avoid these crashes, because it is Spain. And as I said in the qualifying session, just me personally, this is not my favorite track to drive around. So if I was out there, the first thing on my mind would be just keep it clean.
Absolutely. Right, again, Frostan has a little bit of technical difficulties with God, but he's back in now. And I tell you what, safety car's in now, because all the cars are all built in now. So Boy Better Know is technically the new safety car leader here. So they've got to be careful there, guys. They've got to be absolutely careful here. If they don't, they will lose out the wing, and it will damage their chances of doing well here with the points here tonight. But at the moment here, we're coming up to the turn 13 now. I'm going to watch it from Boy Better Know's point of view here. Let's see if he can try and push that car as much as possible. I think he's going to go for it now. He's going to shoot off now. This will be a chance of an opportunity here. And we're back live and racing here for the restart of after the safety car here. We're on lap 433 here. So Boy Better Know's had a great start there, Tim. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, a magnificent start from Boy Better Know. Already over half a second in front of Scope Filter in second. But Scope Filter is not giving up. He is chasing him down. But if Boy Better Know can get out, you know, further than a second ahead of Scope Filter, then Scope Filter's not going to have the advantage of the DRS. And I think that's really what Boy Better Know wants, is he does not want Scope Filter to have that DRS. He does not want him to have a chance to get by him. No,
he doesn't want to get a chance to get an opportunity just yet here, because obviously he want to try and buy this time. But I think from Boy Better Know's experience here, he wants to try and get as big of a gap from Scope Filter as possible here. But like I said, the Drivers' Championship leader from the first 2 races here, he does not want to give up. And like I said, let's see what he tried to do, and putting a lot of pressure on Boy Better Know. But there was a bit of a battle there between Samu and Sir Spud just earlier on in the at turn 1, I believe, at turn 2. So let's see what they can try and do as well. Let's have a quick look at the pack here. Let's have a look from O. Stevens' point of view here. Try and close in on Sir Spud now. It looks, I don't know if Sir Spud's struggling with the tyre wear after the safety car here, but it looks like he's all right at the minute. But he got Sammy went past him, as I said earlier. Roy Boy's got the fastest lap of the race now, 1:23.283 now. But watching it from O. Stevens' point of view, we've got the 2 Red Bulls here trying to chase the Merc here as well. We've got the Renault just behind there of the Haas car. That might be Rymac here. Rymac's going around the outside there, turn 2 there. Oh my days, what a move there from Rymac there, Tim.
Yeah, and now Meg Luckby, he's getting teamed up, at least he was for a minute, by the other Renault. That is Sheepy, but Ferocious Dan is making a move on Sheepy now in that Racing Point machine. So Ferocious Dan, move him up to 12th. He was our provisional pole sitter for the longest time. Unfortunately, he's dropped back to 12th, but now he's trying to make his way up through the pack. He's got his sights set on Meg Luckby now. Rymac up there in 10th, so nothing to worry about there on Rymac's point of view, since Meg Luckby is having to deal with a pink Racing Point behind him. And Ferocious Dan is getting all up on the back of Meg Luckby as they go through Campster Corner.
Yeah, they're going through Campster Corner now, down at the not the DRS straight just yet here, but look at Frustrated. He's having a quick glance there as well. I believe there's been some technical difficulties on one of the cars there as well, but hopefully we'll get that sorted. We've got Ferocious Dan as well, trying to close it. Oh, he's going a little bit wide there at turn. Oh, Sheepy was trying to go around the outside there at turn 13 there, but he does not make the move. So DRS should be active now, but we've got Sheepy. Looks like he might be struggling there. We've got a couple of cars behind him now. We've got Luke Bailey now right on the tail of Sheepy now, but we haven't got the DRS straight now, so they're going to try and go too wide here. We'll go too wide here at Elf corner here. So at the moment here, does not. You're just worried that you think, oh, will they try and make the move at the last minute, but they try and be absolutely delicate there. But Luke Bailey's gone a little bit wider, which has now brought Mike into play here as well. Tim.
Yeah, I'm currently watching the same battle, riding on board with Luke Bailey as he's trying to chase down Sheepy. But as I'm looking at it, it looks like Sir Spud's starting to close in on Samu Papito just a little bit. Samu and the Williams, Sir Spud and the Merc, and it's dancing around at about half a second between these two as they go through Kamsa Corner. So there might be a little bit of a battle developing here in just a moment whenever DRS gets active.
Yeah, let's just see what happens here. But we might have a three. Like so we've got a three-car battle here in a moment. So Mr. P's dropped down to 17th. Energy Dan moves up to 12th. Sorry, 16th. Sorry, I do apologise, guys. We're just trying to see what happens here with this battle galore here. Ferocious Dan trying to close in on Meg Lugby here, passing into turn 13 now. The yellow flag set to 3. That might be Mr. P. Yeah, it is Mr. P at turn 12 there. So I don't know if he had any contact there between himself and Energy Dan, but they're going to try and go there. But look at Ferocious Dan. He goes too wide there, trying with the DRS straight, and he makes the move perfectly there against Meg Lugby here on lap 733. Tim.
Yeah, that was a really good move by Ferocious Dan to move up into that 11th position. Now he's got his sights set on Rymac, but that is a pretty good distance, 1.9 seconds behind. He's going to have to worry about Meg Lugby, who looks like he might be getting a little bit of a run toward Ferocious Dan, but not so much. I don't think so anymore. I think it's more or less that they're just going to kind of settle in a line here now. Moving back up to the top 5, it looks like Lozak is starting to gain on Yas in that Toro Rosso, and Yas doing a really good job to move up. Lozak actually goes a little bit wide, gets in the gravel just a little bit, so that definitely upset his car and kind of lost, but then Yas got into the gravel. So Yas, through Kamsa Corner, went a little bit wide and got into the gravel, so that's going to slow him down as Roy Boy in 3rd has a big lockup going into turn 10.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, Roy Boy made a massive mistake there at turn 8 there, as well as the guys with Lozak and Yos from Kamsa Corner there as well. Let's see what they can try and do here, come up to the DRS straight here. I'm going to look at it from Lozak's point of view here, because he could have the chance, but like I said, Yos will have the DRS, and they're all shot off now because they don't want to get overtaken here as well. Lozak will try and push as much as possible. He might have a bit more down full speed. Let's see what he can try and do here as well. Coming up to, which is turn 2 now, and then coming up to, which is turn 3 now. This is the part where the cars feel like they're dragging themselves to the left-hand side there. They don't want to do that too much there, but watching it from Lozak's point of view, Samu could be having a big battle with Sir Spud again. Those two are having a good battle there, Tim. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it's actually very entertaining to watch. Sir Spud getting really close to Samu Papito there. Samu getting a little bit of a better exit out of that corner, but as they approach turn 8 now, let's see which one goes better. Is actually they both have a little bit of issues. Samu Papito gets a pretty decent line through there. Sir Spud looks like he got a little bit loose, and that caused him to have to overcorrect a little, and he lost a lot of time to Samu right now, heading to turn 10, and the gap is 1.2 seconds. So Sir Spud's starting to drop a little bit. Wonder if maybe his tires are starting to fail him, but behind Sir Spud is O. Steven, who might be making a move soon.
Yeah, O. Steven's had a great exit there at turn 11 there, into 12 there, but the mean times can only last about 16 laps, so I'll be very, very worried for Sir Spud if his tyres are actually going at that point there. Good evening to everyone that's watching the stream. I hope everyone's all okay and well. Let's hope you enjoyed live exclusive for you guys as well. We will have the interviews at the end of the race for the top 3 drivers here. So at the moment here, we're just watching O. Steven try and close in on Sir Spud now for 7th place here. We've got a 3-car battle here for Roy Boy, Yos and Lozak for 3rd, 4th, 5th respectively here, but Luke Bailey and Mike are going side by side there at turn 2 there, into 3 there by the looks of things on our screens there, but Luke Bailey drops down to 16th place now after that. So we're on lap 9:33. This is coming like a really, really good race here so far, Tim.
That it is. Currently, I'm just monitoring this 3-car battle we got for that final podium position. Roy Boy, of course, still maintaining 3rd position, almost a full second now ahead of Yas in the Toro Rosso, but behind Yas, again, almost a full second, is Lozak. So they're really not so much battling as much as just really keeping each other in their sights and trying to set up a pass when they get the opportunity, which, with it being only lap 9, we have a little over 20 laps to go here. There's no reason to make any unnecessary risk this early in the race. Give it another 15 or 20 laps and we'll be okay.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But it looked like Jos nearly lost it at the chicane part there, but he's still holding on for a dear life here, for 4th place here, because Lozak is trying to close in. Obviously, these two drivers have got the DRS because of each other, obviously, and Roy Boy getting there as well. But at the moment here, Boy Betano is in 1st, Schofield is in 2nd, Roy Boy is in 3rd, Jos is in 4th, Lozak is in 5th, Samu's in 6th, Suspud is in 7th, O. Stevens in 8th, Nitrogash is in 9th, Rymack is in 10th, Fresh Dan is in 11th place, Meg is in 12th, Sheep is 13th, Energy Dan 14th, Luke Bailey 15th, Mike is in 16th. I think he had a massive mistake there at turn 1 into 2, and then Mr. P in last place. Well, swap places now. Mike has unfortunately lost communication, and I don't think he will carry on. But let's see what happens here. Still watching this battle here from the top, well, 3rd, 4th and 5th for the last podium here as well. Tim, what do you think is going to happen here with the two McLarens and the Toro Rosso here?
It looks like Lozak is actually a little bit faster than Yas at the moment, and he's starting to gain on him here a little bit, but it just seems like it depends on what sector of the track they're in. You know, you mentioned last lap that Yas had a little bit of issues through the chicane. That time he actually got a pretty good line through there, while Lozak was having a little bit of issue, but they both go maybe slightly wide, but a pretty decent line through there. So I think Lozak, though, using the DRS and the slipstream, is going to get by Yas, and he will with relative ease as they head down into turn 1. They were side by side, but not for long. Lozak moves up into 4th, so it is now a McLaren 3-4 at the moment. Yeah,
so a McLaren 3 and 4th at the moment here, but might have to go back to Nitrogash and Rymack here, because this is a proper battle here for 9th place here. So this has been a brilliant race here on lap 11:33. So many battles galore here. You just don't know which one to pick here as well. But fair play to these drivers here. It feels like so much points is at stake here. Rymack's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now, so he's got to be absolutely careful here during the race. You don't want to get any more penalties as well. They're coming up to Kamsakura now. They've got to be absolutely delicate here, and they should have the DRS. No, but with Ferocious down right at the back of Rymack by 4/10. Manic stuff here. Tim.
Yeah, I think Rymack, he just went a little bit wide out of turn 7 to get that time penalty, so unfortunately that is going to hurt him, but it may or may not matter there toward the end. We don't know what time penalties we're going to see. Rymack, though, nonetheless not letting it deter him from chasing down Nitrogash in the Red Bull. Of course, Nitrogash has 10 laps on the hard tires versus Rymack having 10 laps on the medium tires. So I'd say that Nitrogash's tires are actually starting to come alive, where Rymack's might be showing a little bit of wear here in the next few laps, but so far they're looking good as Rymack makes a move on Nitrogash, or excuse me, yes, Nitrogash in the Red Bull as they go into turn 1. Now he has his sights set on another Red Bull of O. Steven in 8th.
Yeah, so he's done a brilliant job there, Rymack. He's not messing about here. He's going to try and catch on to the other Red Bull of O. Steven there. But, like I said, Nitrogash is on the hard tyres, so he is going to go long here on the hard tyres, regardless whatever happens here tonight. So, like I said, you can go up to lap 21. Oh,
and Rymack went wide out of 7. He got into the gravel, and that's going to allow Nitrogash to get back underneath him.
Yeah, so like I said, that cost him dearly here, but coming up to Kamsakura now, so he will have the DRS straight here as well. So they're going to be absolutely careful there. I do worry about these drivers here, but look at Ferocious Dad. He's going side by side here with Rymack here. Too wide at turn. Oh, that's a brilliant move there from Ferocious Dan there. So absolutely fantastic move there, Tim.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here, I'm pumping my fist like, yeah, let's see some of this action. I'm loving it. This is what we see each and every week, is these drivers battling it out, but clean battles at that. They're really good drivers, and I just love commentating for him. Nitrogash, though, really checking out on Ferocious Dan now, as Rimac, he's really just starting to drop back a lot. I think that time penalty might have hurt him more than just the time. But Ferocious Dan now making a move on Nitro Gashing that Red Bull, and he gets by him. Move Ferocious Dan up into 7th. He has got a fast car underneath him, and he is wanting to show it.
He does there, but look at Rimac here. He's going right on the tail there with Nitro Gash here. These three drivers are having a proper battle here, and this is absolutely fantastic stuff there. We're live exclusive on the Invictus Racing League for the Realistic Performance League tonight at round 4 at the glorious race on the Barcelona track, the Catalunya, the Spanish Grand Prix here as well. And we have got a classic going on. Meglup is retired. Meglup is retired at 2nd sector. I'm trying to see where. That is at turn 5 into turn 6 there. So I'm not exactly sure what's happened there. But Meglup is the first casualty out of the race here. Rimac going side by side here, too wide here, into turn 11. They could try into turn 12. Fair play to these two drivers here. Unbelievable stuff here, Tim.
Yeah, really good move by Rimac to move back up into 8th place. Now, as we get through this 1st and 2nd sector here on this next lap, I want to take a look at Rimac as he goes through turn 5, where you said that Meg Lucky was actually stopped, because that's where he's had trouble all day. Each and every time I see him, clipping the grass, or that one time he actually went wide just a few laps ago. So I want to see how he gets through here now when we get there. But our provisional pole sitter, Ferocious Dan, now up into 1st. Of course, I say provisional because he did not wind up with the pole. That was Boy Better Know, who pitted just this lap for the hard tires, so he's running in 5th with 0 laps on those tires, so he will likely be going the rest of the way.
Yeah, he should be able to do well here for the remainder of the race here with the hard tyres as well. Turn 5, as you said here, Tim, he's doing all right, to be fair, passing to turn 6 into turn 7 now. But the most important thing of all is they're going to try and keep those tyres, those medium tyres, as long as possible here, as long as they don't hit the gravel, which they nearly did there from Rimac's point of view here. But Lozak could be closing in on Schofielder by 3/10 there as well. So we're going to have a look at that one now. Oh, Lozak's made the move. No, Scope's made back into 6th place as well. They're going side by side here. And Scope's just holding on. Scope is just holding on there from turn 11 into 12 as well. So, Tim.
And Lozak and Scopefielder, they have similar age tires. Lozak only has 1 lap on his tires, where Scopefielder had just pitted. So their tire wear is going to be more or less the same. So these drivers, what we're seeing is probably a battle that's going to carry on for most of this race. Of course, right now, Lozak has the DRS and the slipstream, going to go by Scopefielder, at least try to, as they go into turn 1, but will he be able to clear him? Yes, he does, at least for the time being. Scopefielder drops to 5th, Lozak to 4th, and now Scopefielder has another McLaren to worry about of Roy Boy behind him.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here as well, because it's like a McLaren sandwich here as well for Scopefielder. So let's see what they can try and do. But fair play to, like I said, to Nigel Gash to holding it on there. But as long as Boy Better Know does not make any contact at all or make any mistakes, he will do well here. But with Lozak and with Scope in that pressure moment there, you never know what to expect back here for Invictus Racing Leagues. Do you agree?
No, you definitely don't. Like I said, expect the unexpected, because it can and will happen. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, let's see what they can try and do here as well. Just watch it. So Meglup, he has unfortunately lost communication, so I don't think he'll be back into the race. Well, back into carry on watching from his first DNF of this race here as well. So with lap 16, we're not even hitting the halfway marker now. Yellow flag set to 2. Mr. P has retired at turn 8. So that might be the safety car here. No, it's a virtual safety car. It is a virtual safety car here, Tim. So I thought it might be the safety car proper, but it's not. Would you gamble like carrying on, which majority of the drivers have done so far anyway? But with Luke Bailey doing 14 laps of medium tyres as well, Nigel Gash with 15 laps of the hard tyres, Mike's doing 14 laps of the hards as well. I don't know if he's continued since then. I haven't seen it come back as well. But with those drivers battling out here, What do you think is going to happen here so far, Tim?
That's hard to say. And as far as whether or not I would gamble under a virtual safety car, I'd be a little bit more cautious. As now we're actually back green, I would be a little bit more cautious to gamble on pitting and tire strategy during a virtual safety car. If we got a full-blown safety car, I would not be surprised if we saw some drivers pit for medium tires to try to make it the rest of the way, just to try to get a little bit more speed early on.
So would you gamble on the medium tires then, Tim?
Under a safety car, but not a virtual safety car.
Okay, no worries. Oh my days, they're battling out Samu, Jos and Luke Bailey here, side by side here at turn 12. Too wide there, fair play to these drivers here. I don't know if Luke Bailey's just given the positions there because his tyre wear must be going to shot off near the end of that tyre life as we predicted for the telemetry as well. But fair play as well. That was great battles there as well. Let's see what Jos can do. Jos can try and close in, but at the moment here, we've only got a 3-car battle here for 7th place here, 3-car battle here for 4th place as well. So that's the early battles we've got so far on lap 17 of 33 as well. But like I said, if you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure you subscribe to our channel for all the live races here as well. So at the moment here, the Drivers' Championship leader of scope in 5th place here. But like I said, Frostan and Nitrogas will have to pit regardless. So Scofield, as long as he doesn't get any contact at all, he might get a podium here, but he might have to watch out for Roy Boy here, Tim.
Yeah, Roy Boy running in 6th place right now, but trying to close in on Scopefielder as they go through turn 10. Roy Boy, he's got 3 laps on the tires, same as Scopefielder, so there's not going to be a disadvantage as far as tire wear is concerned, so long as both of these drivers can keep it keep it under wraps and really, manage their tire wear throughout the course of the race. We have, around 15 to go, more or less now. So now's the time to where, maybe they need to start thinking about how to make a move and win. It's a little too early to take any risks, but they need to start setting up the moves and try to move up the pack as soon as possible. I don't think we're going to see any more pit stops, except for Ferocious Dan and Nitro Gash, of course, who is still running 1-2. Ferocious Dan 16 laps on his tires, Nitro Gash 17 laps. So I would actually expect Ferocious Dan to pit very soon. So after that, once the field cycles through, we'll get a better idea of what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Sheepy battling out with Energy Dan battling out with Sheepy, who's moved up to 13th place now. That was at turn 1 at the DRS straight here as well. They're getting closer at turn 3 here, but we're still watching from Roy Boy's point of view here to see if he can try and get closer to Scope here. Boy Better Know's getting closer to Nitrogash here. So this will be the top 3 battle here, but like I said, the top 2 will definitely have to pit, but it all depends what they can try and do with the consistency, making sure they don't make any mistakes at all. You can do perfectly for like the first 32 laps, but then if you mess up on the last lap, it will cost you dearly, especially you can't recover from that as well. But I'm not doing it as a commentator's curse or whatever happens, but it could happen there. Fresh Stan as going to the pits now with 16 laps as we predicted earlier on. So Boy Better Know's going to try and go side by side here, too wide here, down the straight here. He should easily make the move here, and he does, Tim. So Boy Better Know will be carrying on from where he left off from the qualifying back into first place, Tim.
And with an even bigger gap over Scopefielder than what he had originally. Now, Lozak has actually gotten by Scopefielder, so Lozak would probably inherit the second position as soon as Nitrogash decides to pit. My question, though, about Nitrogash is what tires is he going to choose? Because he's on the hard tires now, and he's run 18 laps, so sooner or later he's going to have to pit. That is a given, but is he going to try for the mediums, or is he going to gamble and try to go for the softs, since it'll only be a short time left?
It depends, because if he gambles on the softs, he'll have to try and get those hard tyres as much, I'll say this now, as much as possible, but I doubt it very much. But it all depends how long he can do that as well. But we're coming up to lap 19 of 33 now. So Spud's moved up to 8th. Luke Bailey's dropped down to 9th now, sorry, not 19th. I do apologise. We've got the battle here for Roy Boy and Scope here for 4. Nitrogas is has got in the pits now, so I will not be surprised if he goes on the medium tyres just for the safe bets here during the last bit of the race here. But we're still watching Roy Boy now coming down the straight here. Will he have enough time to get into make the move? No, he doesn't. He does not make the move, but we're still watching it from this point of view to see if he can try and make the move before the end of the first sector. Tim.
Yeah, we're just going to have to see. Going down through the field, though, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of battles here, except, of course, with Roy Boy and Scope Filter. But otherwise, I think that the field has mostly gotten spread out. It looks like Rimac is starting to approach Ferocious Dan, and actually a little bit closer than what Roy Boy is to Scope Filter. So Rimac and the Renault versus Ferocious Dan and the Racing Point. I kind of feel like we've seen this before today, Malc.
I think lightning does strike twice. Do you agree, Tim?
I would say so. Ferocious Dan, though, of course, he's had I wouldn't say a good day, but a decent day. I'm sure that he would have rather be about 9 positions higher than what he is right now. But nonetheless, he definitely has a fast car and has been able to work his way up through the field after having a little bit of issues early on in the race. So running in 9th position is going to be a decent points day for him. Of course, all drivers get points this season so long as they finish. So Rimac running in 10th, just trying to chase him down. But Rimac has had a lot of issues, and you know, he doesn't run in this series normally. You know, he's just a replacement, so he's mainly out here for fun. So I hope that it hasn't been a bad day for his sake.
I don't think he's had a bad day. As long as he's in the top 10, that's still good points, regardless whatever happens here tonight. But still, the bigger the position, like near the top, the bigger the points mean prizes, as we always say. But Ferocious Dan could be closer to O'Stephen here for 8th place here. So at the moment, O'Stephen, Ferocious Dan, we're just watching with the battle here, and also Roy Boy and Scopefielder now for 3rd and 4th, respectively, as the only battles we've got so far on lap 21 and 33 of the Invictus Racing League, the Realist Performance League. This is brilliant stuff there, so I do apologise, Tim.
No, you're good, but Ferocious Dan, he actually did set the fastest lap that last time, so he does have a fast car, and he is ready. He's going to try to make up as many points as he can in positions, as actually O'Stephen moved over and let him by. I think O'Stephen just realized that he was a little bit faster than him, so coming out of turn 5, he just pulled over to the inside line to let Ferocious Dan by, so Ferocious Dan now moves up to 8th. The next driver, and there is contact. There is some contact. There is Sir Spud in 9th place, and he has spun. He's hit the wall, and now he is out of this race. I was just about to say Ferocious Dan has his sights set on Sir Spud, but that took care of itself. But unfortunate for Sir Spud, his day is done.
Oh, unlucky there for Sir Spud. Safety car. We have got the second safety car in this race here tonight. We're on lap 22-33, depending on where everyone is. If you get into the pits, I would pit now for... Would you pit for the softs? I would gamble for the softs. Do you agree?
I definitely would gamble for the softs, and in fact, Rimac looks like he's one of the first to blink. Not the first, but one of the first. I'm on board with him as he's pulling to the pits. What will he take? He is taking the mediums. He's taking the safe way out and going with the medium tires on that Renault. So Rimac out of his pit and away now.
Yeah, just seeing what happened there. What's happened here so far? Just watching some of the drivers getting past the safety car.
Sheepy has decided to gamble on the soft. So Sheepy going to line up in what might be the 13th position. He's decided to take the soft. So maybe we can see Sheepy make up a few positions here toward the end of the race.
That could be the perfect moment here, but it all depends if anyone gambles here, because Samu, Yoss, Rimac, I think Luke Bailey as well, earlier on, before the safety car, and then Mike as well, with the safety cars as well. So those are the guys, and Nitrocash as well, earlier on, have had the medium stuff, but like I said, Sheepy with the softs, I can't see him move up a little bit more, but it all depends if he can try and get that perfect there as well. But Yoss has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. Boy Bets now, Lozak have gone into the pits now. They've gone into the pits. Same with Scope and Roy Boy. So, will they gamble on the softs? I reckon so, because the tyres will be alright. They will be alright for the first few laps, but they will manage to hold on with those softs. Ooh! That is interesting stuff here, actually. Because what I'm seeing is, majority of the drivers have gone, the top 4, which I thought they would have gone for the softs, they don't. They still keep out with the medium tyres here. So, Boy better know, Lozak, I think they're playing it safe, which I don't blame them, especially at this stage of the race here. I thought one of them would have gambled for the softs, especially with the safety car being that try and slow down with some of the drivers here. I think that would have been a lot easier here, Tim.
I'm honestly surprised that Sheepy is the only one to take the softs. And in fact, I'd actually dare say that it would have been a better strategy to take the softs, because what were you saying the window on the soft tires were? About 8 to 10 laps or so?
The softs can't last about 9 laps fresh.
Yeah. And so when we go green, it'll be a minimum of 8 to go, I believe, because the field still has to catch up to the safety car. I really think that had I been Lozak, I would have taken the softs and gambled on that to try to be just a little bit faster there early on. Because so far, we only have Sheepy on the soft tires, and I expect him to make up position, but with him being in 13th, I'm not going to say that he's going to be in contention for the win. There just simply is not enough time. But if Lozak had decided to take the softs, I think that he might have been able to put the pressure on Boy Better Know. But he still might be able to with the fresh mediums.
Yeah, it might do with the fresh mediums, but fair play to Ferocious Dan in third as well. With 4 laps already with the medium tyres, it should be all right to last. But this is going to be tough. I think we're going to have another lap of the safety car, and then we'll go back in for lap 25. As long as they guys can try and get themselves prepped up and ready to go. But let's see what happens here. So Nigel Guest moves up to 6 during the safety car. I'm not sure what's happened there. But with the safety cars here, what's been your highlights so far during the race here, Tim?
Honestly, I think I gotta say that my highlight is just watching that Racing Point of Ferocious Dan move up through the field. And I know that he had a little bit of help this time with the pit stops and everything. But like you said, with 5 laps on his medium tires and with less than 10 laps to go here, I really believe that, as you said, that he's going to be okay. So I'd say that that's been one of my highlights is, just watching Ferocious Dan and also the Renault and McLaren sandwiches that we've kind of seen today, because it just seemed like, the Renaults were always, running near each other with a car in the middle, and the McLarens were running near each other with a car in the middle. Now the McLarens are running 2 and 8 respectively, with the Renaults running 11th and 13th, but still this race has been no shortage of battles, and that's definitely what I like to see. And right now it actually looks like the drivers have all caught the safety cars, so like you said, maybe another lap of the safety car, and then we'll be able to go back green. So what do you think's going to happen, Malc? Do you think that Ferocious Dan has enough tires under him to maybe challenge for the win? Does Lozak have enough of a car under him to challenge Boy Better Know for the win? Or is Boy Better Know just so fast that he's going to check out?
I think Boy Better Know is going to try and do what he did from the first time of the safety car. I think he'll try and slow down up to the chicane part and then push off. While we watch that, Luke Bailey's got a 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits there. So Mike's car's still unavailable, so he was out of the race again. But here we go. We've got Boy Better Know coming out of the last corner now. Needs to push now because Lozak could be right on the tail here as well. So Lozak, it looked like Boy Better Know did not have a good start as what he had from the first safety car coming back in as well. But Lozak will be right on the tail here as well. But look at Ferocious Dan right on the tail there. Brilliant start here. With 9 laps to go here. With 9 laps to go of the Invictus Racing League Performance League at the glorious race of the Spanish Grand Prix here. So many battles galore here. This is what we all wanted to see. So much battles here. Here we go. What can Lozak do? Look, will Lozak try and close in on Boy Better Know down the turn 6 now into 7 there? Tim?
Yeah, Lozak just trying everything that he can, but I think that right now he's just trying to size up Boy Better Know, see where he's fast and see where he's slow. And right now it actually looks like Boy Better Know is fast outside of Kamsa corner, and Lozak got a little bit of an issue. I heard a little bit of tire squeal, but no harm, no foul. Lozak still staying right on the back of Boy Better Know, although Boy Better Know got a better exit out of turn 10 there, going through these weird S's with these curves. Boy Better Know getting really, really out ahead in front of Lozak, over half a second now separating these two drivers. Meanwhile, Ferocious Dan just kind of riding back there over half a second behind Lozak. So really the battle here is between the McLaren and the Toro Rosso of Lozak in second and Boy Better Know in first. As they cross the line, it's lap 26 of 33 now. So it's winding down as they head to turn 1. It looks like Lozak's starting to gain on Boy Better Know. He has the slipstream, but he's just not close enough to make a move as they go through turns 1 and 2. Lozak has a really nice line, really fast through there, while Boy Better Know just sort of about average. Lozak, but now Roy Boy has a 3-second time penalty. Excuse me, that's the other McLaren. But Lozak 97, so far no time penalties as far as I know. So he is good to go to chase down that Toro Rosso.
Yeah, it's good to chase down that Toro Rosso as well. So many battles galore here. We've got O'Stephen, Schofield and Nitrogas having a close battle there. So I'm going to have a quick glance on that one, because there will be a 3-car battle with a Red Bull sandwich here. Rymax got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. But as you can see on the screen there, it's the biggest movers of the race here. Energy Dan with the biggest mover with 9 positions here. Second is Nitrogas with 7 places as well. So he's doing a brilliant job there. Same with O'Stephen and also Lozak as well. So fair play to those drivers there, as well as O'Stephen with 4th place from 10th as well. So we're on lap 26 to 33. Will Schofield try and make the move here, but we have to wait and see. But look at Nitrogas as well with Energy Down closing in. That's a brilliant helicopter view. That's lovely. They need to keep this more often here. Still, I'm still watching it from Schofield's point of view, because he could be closing in on O'Stephen here now. And here we go, Cam Schofield out. DRS is now back on. DRS is now back on here. But Tim, what do you think's going to happen here with Energy Down at the back, making a move on Nitrogas here, and he does make the move. He does make the move at turn 1 there, so fair play to Energy Dan there, Tim.
Yeah, fair play indeed. And remember, he started 16th, Malc. He qualified 17th, dead last in the field today, but because of a grid penalty, F1 Mr. P actually started in 17th. So Energy Dan starting in 16th and moving his way all the way up to 7th now, as Nitro Gas just got by him, but he's going to try to take it back to Nitro Gas, going out of turn 5 now as they approach turn 6 and 7. Lozak now with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so that almost gives the race to Boy Better Know, so long as he doesn't make a catastrophic mistake. So the battle between Nitro Gas and Energy Dan, though, is still on as they go through Campsa Corner. Energy Dan, a little bit of an issue through that corner. It looked like he was turning just a little bit left. Nitro Gas, meanwhile, a really good line as they go through turns 10.
Yeah, so he's doing a good move there at turn 10 there, but they're still going through at turn 11 into turn 12. Energy Dan lost it at the back end there, which is now brought Roy Boy back into play there, and Samus could try and make the move on Energy Dan for 8th place here. So Energy Dan will be a sitting duck here. You've got to be careful here as well. We've got a four car. Oh, come on. We might have 3 wide here. We might have the one saying we might have the 3 in a bed moment here. Let's see what happens here. We've got 2 wide here. We've got 2 wide. Will we see the 3rd? No, we don't. We don't see the 3rd. But we've still got 2 wide there, but side by side there with Jos and Rymac there.
And there's contact, and Rymac goes around. Rymac clipped the grass and got into the Toro Rosso of Jos, and it took him around. No damage, but definitely not battling for position anymore.
Yeah, so let's see what happens here. But like I said, it was unfortunate from Rymac's point of view here. Let's see what happens here with the racing itself. We're on lap 28 at 33. So many battles galore here. We've got Samu trying to close in on Energy Dan for 8th place now. But still, you just cannot get your eyes off the screen here, because you just don't know when another safety car or something like that is going to try and get in. Energy Dan is trying to keep it on the inside here, but Samu's trying to make the move here as well. He's going to try and make the move on turn 11 here. No, he's not going to go around the outside here. Turn 12 here. He's got the racing line here. Oh, I thought fair play to him. This is absolutely immense stuff here. Fair play to Energy Dan, Samu and Jos come into play, as well as Luke Bailey as well. But here we go. We might have 2 wide here coming down the straight here as well. Here we go. Can Samu try and make the move here? Schofield moves up to 4th now. And Samu makes back up to 8th place here. Energy Dan will drop down to 9th place now, but he should have the bigger advantage of the of the engine as well, because of the Ferrari against the Williams here. Tim.
Yeah, Samu Paito, the replacing driver today, and he's running in 8th position. Normally he runs in the F1 series. So, and Energy Dan actually getting up on the back of Samu Propaito. I thought he was going to make contact, but he did not. So the Ferrari still got a clean wing on the front of it. But Energy Dan just trying everything he can to gain as much positions as he can. And as we said during the qualifying session, Energy Dan was touted as the one to watch here today. And unfortunately, he just did not have the best qualifying sessions that he could have had. And so it caused him to start really far back in the field. Now has made his way up into the top 10 and trying to make it into the top 8 with Samu Propaito being the only driver in his way right now.
Yeah, so he'll be the only one that will be stopping his way here. But while we're watching that, Lozak and Frostan having another battle here. Boy Better Know's got the fastest lap of the race now, 121.603 here. Will we have Boy Better Know try and keep that win? Get that win as perfectly as possible. 5.7 seconds of a gap there, so fair play as well. So at the moment here, I don't know which one to pick here because there's so many battles galore here, Tim.
Yeah, and a bit of an update on Lozak, of course. As you know, he got a 3-second time penalty a few laps ago. Looking at the leaderboard at the moment, even if this race were to finish at this very second, Lozak would not be on the podium. So Lozak is fighting for more than just second place here. He is fighting for even a little bit of a chance to stay on that podium, but he's going to have to get at least 3 seconds ahead of Scopefilter, who is only about a second and a half or so behind him. Scopefilter, of course, less than a second behind Ferocious Dan. Ferocious Dan less than a second behind Lozak, and Ferocious Dan wants that second position, and he wants it bad. As they go through turn 10, Lozak still second. Ferocious Dan in third, as Sheepy now has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Lozak getting a pretty good exit through that corner, but it's just not enough. Ferocious Dan's just... I don't think he's faster. It's just that he can keep him in his sights.
Yeah, absolutely, but it just all depends on how far they can go. But like I said, Lozak, if it was stand by 3 seconds, he will drop down to 5th. He'll drop down to 5th if it stays like this. I'm just saying, if it stays like this at this moment in time. But at the moment here, we're lap 31 of 33. Scopefilter passes for a stand for third place here. So Scopefilter could have a chance to try and get Lozak here. But he will guarantee the second place as long as he doesn't have any penalties galore. But Frostan has gone a little bit wide there at turn 3 now, coming up to the end of the first sector now. This has been a brilliant race. This has been absolute fantastic stuff here as well. So the only battles we've got so far is Scopefilter, Frostan, and also Nitrogash, O'Stephen, Roy Boy having a bit of a battle there for 5th, 6th and 7th. Samu's in 8th with Yoss and Energy Dan for 9th and 10th respectively, as well as Luke Bailey for 11th. Tim?
Yeah, definitely a really good race. Boy Better Know, though, of course, he has checked out. Like you said, 5.7 seconds a few laps ago. Now down to actually still 5.7 seconds with Lozak just keeping it there. So Lozak has now gotten 1.4 seconds ahead of Scopefilter. He might have a chance at the podium, but again, he is going to have to make up a lot more ground than that in these next 2 laps.
Let's see what he can try and do here as well, as much as possible here. But I don't know which one to pick. I'm so excited here because we just want to see who's going to try and get the final bit of the podium here as well. But at the moment here, Lozak will lose out on the podium here because Schofield and Frostan will come back up. But Stephen backs up. Nitrogash is... they're going side by side here at turn 1 here. I don't know if there was a bit of contact there, but they were still side by side at turn 1 here. Just saw the last glimpse of that, but Nitrogash will have to push now. Stephen struggling with those hard tyres on 18 laps of the hards as well. So we're on the penultimate lap here. Yellow flag set to 1. Ryan Mack is retired. Ryan Mack is retired at turn 2 here. Ryan Mack is retired at turn 2. So he is the 5th casualty here. And he probably there's 4 because Mike unfortunately has lost communication with his car as well. So yellow flag still on sector 1. Good evening to Spud. How you doing, mate? You alright? We're on still yellow flags on sector 1 still. Just see what happens here. We're coming up to the final bit of the lap, for the final lap as we speak here. But Tim, who are you watching so far?
Actually watching Boy Better Know as he went through the chicane, he got just a little bit loose. The back end came around. Nothing too major, but I thought for a minute that he was going to bend it and put it into the wall, but he did not, thankfully for his sake anyway. So Boy Better Know on the final lap, white flag in the air, 5.2 second lead over the McLaren of Lozak, so long as he can complete this course one more time without any catastrophic mistake, Boy Better Know will walk away with this win. But the real question of the day is, will Lozak in second with at least a 3-second time penalty be able to hang on to a podium position, as he is 1.2 seconds ahead of Scopefilter?
Yeah, just interesting stuff there. So Lozak could be the lucky guy here to hold on for the podium here, because he is pushing away from Ferocious Dan's car there. So they are struggling there. But look at this, with Ferocious Dan coming up to the turn 7 now, up to nearly to Kamsa corner there. So Boy Better Know's past the second sector into the third, into turn 10 now. So he's on the third sector on the final lap here as well. But will we see any more battles galore here? I don't think so. But we're going to watch it from Boy Better Know's point of view here. He's coming up to the final bit of the chicane now. But I tell you what, Tim, what a race from Boy Better Know. He got the qualifying done, sorted, and now he's just got the fastest lap, and then also he has won the Spanish Grand Prix. So well done to him. Congratulations to Boy Better Know for that one. Lozak will cross the line in second, but we'll just wait and see what he's going to drop down as well. Scopefilter will finish in second. Lozak will finish in third. So he's very, very lucky to keep that podium stuff as well. Nitrogas misses out by 1.3 seconds of a gap in fourth. Fresh Stand finishes in fifth place as well. What a race. What an absolute belter of a race here tonight.
A very good race indeed, and congratulations to Boy Better Know. Last week, you know, he checked out, and he was leading the race for basically most of the time. But, you know, of course, we know what happened, where there was just an issue to where we've had to postpone the race since then. So Boy Better Know looking for a little bit of redemption this week, and he has definitely got it with this win, and proving that last week would not have been a fluke.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. Well, not last week, 2 weeks ago and stuff, because of issues with the Belgian Grand Prix as well. But I see what you mean with that one, Tim. So we're going to try and get the drivers into play here. So might get Boy Better Know, Scope and Lozak if they are available to join us tonight. But we're going to do the usual advertisements here. But before we start, I know we're going to do the usual the penalty stuff here. So that's for the stewards to make sure they check if there's any issues there as well. This is the race classification for the Spanish Grand Prix for the Realistic Performance League for the Invictus Racing League. You also got Boy Better Know in first, Schofield is in second, Lozak is in third, Nitrogas in fourth, Fresh Stan fifth, O Stevens sixth, Roy Boy seventh, Samu eighth, Yost ninth, Energy Dan 10th, Sheepy 11th, Luke Bailey 12th, Mike, Roy Max, Sir Spud, Mr P and Meg Lumpy have all had the DNFs or lost communication with their cars during the race tonight. And while I was doing the classification stuff there, we've got all three drivers in, ready in, and we're about to kick off here. But before we do that, guys, can you please make sure allow voice to be shared is set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings, and there's an option to allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. So while the guys are going to be setting themselves prepped up and ready to go, we will, we will talk to them about their brilliant race from Boy Better Know's. It feels like a quadruple from the 2 points that he had from the qualifying, and he had the fastest lap, and the win as well. You know what I mean? It feels like a hat trick as well. And then also talk to Scope on keeping up with the consistency with the Drivers' Championship standings, and also with Lozak just at the nick of time to finish off the podium here as well. So, guys, are you all set and ready to go?
Yep.
Cool. So I'll be talking to Boy Better Know first, then Scope, and then Lozak. Boy Better Know, how you doing, mate? You alright?
Not too bad. It's been a long time. I haven't spoken to you in a while.
I know, it's been absolute ages on this, but overall with the race tonight, did you expect the win tonight?
No, I was expecting a podium. That's what I always come in for. And it sort of played out. Qualifying went well, and then I realised sort of halfway through the mediums I had decent pace. I wasn't using any ERS or anything like that, so I thought, well, just try and pull a gap. But every time I pulled a gap, the safety car come out. Just my luck.
Yeah, it was a bit of an unfortunate stuff for the safety car stuff here, but you had some great battles as well, and you kept that going for putting that gap near the end of the race here. But was you just trying to keep concentrating near the end just to make sure you just get to the end without any issues?
Yeah, I was trying to sort of, keep the gap about 2 seconds. He kept getting Lozak kept getting closer and closer, so I tried to back off a little bit more just to save a bit more ERS. So I had enough for sort of like the last 2 or 3 laps, and but I think he made a mistake or something at the chicane, and that gave me a bit of an opportunity to pull away.
Absolutely. But like I said, I still think that is one hell of a drive, especially with the safety car situations as well. You've driven a magnificent race tonight, boy, better know, and it's been an honour and privilege to hear you at the top of the podium here in the Realistic Performance League. So well done for tonight, and we've got the next race coming up in next week as well. So I wish you all the very best of luck as well, boy, better now. Well done, mate. Congratulations. Sorry it's short, we'll just try and make it as quick as possible here. So, Scope, how you doing, mate? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good. Now, you had some great battles in tonight's race here, but did you feel like you missed out on the win here tonight?
Absolutely not. Scott was dominant, so totally deserved a win for him.
Fair dues. But with the driver standings, believe that you're still extending it as well. Do you feel like you've got that momentum now to keep it going throughout the season now?
Yeah, the point system in this league is pretty heavily towards consistency, so you just gotta stay in the points, rather like top 5 if possible, and it's been working out for me so far, so just gotta keep those points coming in, so hopefully it will be a good end to the season. Absolutely.
But I wish, like I said, I hope you do get that consistency going, because I think if you keep that going, Scope, I think you might get it's too early to say, obviously, with the championship stuff, but if you keep that going, you never know when that will stop as well. But for yourself, Scope, was there any good moments from your point of view?
Yeah, there was a lot of good moments. At the start, I had a pretty good start, so just behind Scott, and then I tried to keep up with him, like pushing all that I could, but he was just too fast. And then the McLarens got closer from behind. I think it was Roy Boy that was really close to me, and then I think he got jumped by Lozak in the pits, and eventually Lozak passed me. So he was also really fast. And then I had problems getting past Steven. He had really good straight line speed, so it was a struggle there. And then I got eventually past him, and then I think Dan made a mistake. So yeah.
Fair dues, Scope. Fair dues. You did a brilliant drive to get back into the top 2 and keep that consistency of the Drivers' Championship as well. So congratulations on your podium here for second place tonight. So well done tonight, mate. Lozak, how you doing, mate? You alright?
Hi, thank you. Yeah, good.
Right, I'm going to say this to you now. Does that penalty, you nearly lost out on the podium, did you feel like you lost the podium here tonight because of that penalty that you had?
Yeah, because I still managed to be 3 seconds ahead of Dan and then Scope, but with that mistake that Scott said in the chicane, I was 1 second behind Scott, and after the mistakes I was 6 seconds, so I lost 5 seconds going on the grass, but I managed to keep it going and managed to build a gap again and lose only 1 place for that mistake. And but it was a good race because I had a pretty clean start with no contacts, because I started from 9th place, so I was a bit worried about contacts and something like that. But I managed to made my way up the field and be on the podium. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you expect to get a podium here with your consistency from the start tonight?
Between the first stint and second stint, I understood that I had the pace to challenge the top guys. Yeah, but on the start I was not so confident because of my lack in speed in qualifying.
Yeah.
Because but in the race I felt good. I made almost no mistake, only one, and I was happy with my third place.
Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff. I was kind of worried because I thought you might have lost out on the podium here, but you just managed to hold on here tonight as well. So, Lozak, well done for the last podium here tonight, and I wish you all the very best of luck for the remainder of the season as well. Same to Scope and to Boy Better Know as well. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'd like to say thank you to everyone that's watched the stream for the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. I'd like to thank Tim for the commentary as always. Tim.
Yeah, Malc, it's always fun, and we saw a really good race. We saw a lot of amazing, impressive battles, and this is what you get to see each and every week when you tune in and watch the Invictus Racing League.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it feels like you're on the edge of your seat watching it as well, and it's absolutely fantastic stuff, and keep it up as always. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Tim as always, as with me with the commentary stuff. This is the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. We will see you next week. Tune in at 8 PM for the next round of there. So see you there, guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.